Airbus and Boeing are the two largest producers of commercial jetliners in the world today. Competition between the European and American manufacturers is fierce. However, many airlines around the world have mixed fleets and fly both Airbus and Boeing aircraft. But does this mean that their pilots can interchangeably fly designs from both manufacturers? Both manufacturers will design aircraft to directly compete with a counterpart from the other, giving airlines a choice between two high-quality products in most markets. This rivalry results in airlines picking sides to maintain fleet uniformity. For example, low-cost carriers such as Ryanair and Southwest Airlines usually only operate a single type of aircraft. In the case of these two airlines, that aircraft is the Boeing 737. But what about airlines that serve a market with both the corresponding Airbus and Boeing aircraft? Specifically, what does this mean in terms of crew flexibility? Would a Boeing pilot be able to fly an Airbus at the same airline, or vice versa? In a word, no. At least not without completing the necessary conversion training. The fact of the matter is, while Airbus and Boeing aircraft compete for the same markets, the way that they're flown is rather different. This may be completely obvious to most people in the industry, but if you're new to the world of aviation, there's your answer in a nutshell. But let's dig deeper and examine the key differences. There's a big difference in the flight control systems between the two manufacturers. This means that the set of skills needed to fly one design would not be completely transferable to the competitor's counterpart aircraft. Boeing aircraft are controlled by a yoke or control column, which allows pilots to directly control the plane's angles of vertical pitch and horizontal banking. This is a more direct way of turning an aircraft and leaves ultimate control primarily to the pilot. Meanwhile, Airbus pilots control their aircraft using side sticks. An advantage of this method is that it gives pilots an unobstructed view of the cockpit center multifunction display panel. It also frees up one of the pilot's hands if they need to simultaneously fulfill another task. This side stick is a fly-by-wire system which transmits electrical signals from the stick to the control surfaces to turn the plane. As such, some might argue that operating an Airbus aircraft does not give a pilot the same sense of, quote, being at one with the plane in the same way that they might with a yoke system in a Boeing. With that being said, certain Boeing yokes are also fly-by-wire systems, such as those on the 777 and 787. An Airbus pilot would need to obtain the type rating for the Boeing model in question and perform several similar flights to become current in that model. The same would apply for a conversion going the other way, of course. This certification and training applies between aircraft from the same manufacturer too, when they have different type ratings. This means that, for example, while the 737 and 747 are both Boeing aircraft, pilots cannot simply jump between the two without obtaining the necessary type rating. In conclusion, at face value, Airbus and Boeing pilots cannot legally fly each other's aircraft. However, if the opportunity arises and they're willing to complete the prerequisite steps, then a conversion may indeed be possible in the longer term. Have any of our pilot viewers out there flown both Boeing and Airbus jets? Is there a preference between yoke or side stick? And if you're not a pilot, comment anyways and tell us which system you think is superior. In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles and a podcast every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe before you go.